government plans to fulfill Alotau Accord aspirations. Gulf tribe taps into farming for better living. And teams show class in 2016 Export Rugby Championship.
This is National EMTV News with Meriba Tulo.
Good evening. Thank you for joining us. This is Sunday's news. The O'Neill Dion government plans to complete its term by continuing to invest in education, health and infrastructure. Following the outcome of the vote of no confidence last Friday, Prime Minister Peter O'Neill says the government will move forward in ensuring it achieves the goals laid out in the Alotau Accord.
In a statement released by Prime Minister Peter O'Neill, the government claims it has achieved 80% of its goals set out in the Alotau Accord in 2014. The statement highlights the government principles in increasing the number of police personnel from the current 600 to 1,000 by 2018. The funding approach towards the 2017 national general elections and the infrastructural development in rural areas. The Prime Minister made this statement following the defeat of the vote of no confidence against him. EMTV News understands the Prime Minister will be meeting with other state ministers this coming Thursday to discuss these issues. Meanwhile, when the Parliament next sits in August, it will be tabling the bill on the establishment of the Independent Commission Against Corruption, or ICAC, and the cybersecurity legislations. Thakla Gunga, National EMTV News.
The National Court in Port Moresby will hand down a verdict on the misappropriation case involving senior members of the Western Provincial Government tomorrow morning. The parties include Western Governor Ati Wabiro, Provincial Administrator Dr. Modwa Gumoy and local businessman Norman May. It is alleged the three defendants conspired to set up the Flycare Foundation and used over 7 million kina belonging to the provincial administration in 2015. The verdict will be handed down by National Court Judge Justice Martin Ipang. A learning institution for the visually impaired needs more support from community and government. Staff at the St. John's Special Education Resource Centre in Port Moresby told National EMTV News they are struggling to facilitate learning for their students. The school has been running for more than 20 years and is one of only a few centres in the country that provides education for the visually impaired.
The school composes of children and adults and has only 4 teachers. Staff say there is more assistance needed to facilitate the school. This special school for the visually impaired has been running for quite a while under limited resources.
We didn't have transport to move around in NCD because we know that there are many visually impaired or blind people or children who are living in NCD, but we cannot be able to identify them or, tell them to come to our center to access the services we provide here because of transport problem.
Of the basic necessities needed for a proper school, staff say they lack in proper equipment and teaching material for the visually impaired. The staff told EMTV that of the entire building, they are only able to use one of the rooms to conduct classes.
We need to extend. We cannot be small like this, so we need a proper, big house or shelter for us to, provide our services to those needy ones, especially visually impaired people in NCD.
The school not only facilitates for the visually impaired, they also have able students attending the school to promote the ongoing idea of an inclusive society in children. The school follows the normal education calendar. They are also recipients of the TFF under the Education Department. Merlin Diaukatam, National EMTV News.
You're watching National EMTV News. A Gulf tribe fights back to improve agriculture standards. That story and more when we come back. Welcome back to National EMTV News. A Gulf tribe is going back to agriculture to improve its living standard. Today, family members of the Avara Seve Soa tribe launched the Avara Seve Soa 7 Tribe Association outside Port Moresby's 14 Mile. They say money making is not the objective, but to farm the land and improve their children's living standard as Papua New Guinea develops.
After securing a piece of land outside the 14-mile area, these families are preparing to cultivate the land by farming vegetables. They originate from the Gulf province and believe agriculture is their future and will transform their lives. Today, businessman and founder of NCD Grassroots Network Association, Michael Kandiu, joined the Sevasoa tribe to launch the farming association. Dressed in 7 different colors representing the tribes, this family-based organization prepares to work together, guided by a vision to till the soil and improve their living standard.
We didn't plan to live a family because one cannot do this alone. Our family me like encouraging close, and we did a great job, and we are going to start now finishing this work.
Having lived for over 19 years in Port Moresby's 9-mile settlement, businessman Michael Kandiu says PNG must work hard to improve its rate of poverty.
If I can able to assist small people to improve their life in next level, God knows that. Maybe 1 or 2 people, whatever money that I put through, if their life is changed a little bit, if they're eating a tin piece now, if they can eat a chicken tomorrow, that's better than for Michael Kandiu than nothing else.
Kandiu called on the tribe to hail the agriculture initiative by supporting them with tools and seedlings worth 2,000 kina.
We have started, continue the hauling pass, continue the plowing, the watering, until group like KK Block and come up, the future of these children will stop good. What we have started, please continue the hauling pass.
The families have started farming the land with more plans to expand. Jack Lopava, Junior National, EMTV News.
The soon-to-be-opened No. 1 Super Limited office building in Port Moresby was recently blessed by Father Victor Roche. The office is another milestone achievement for NSL and is part of the organization's focus on capacity building. Eric Haurupma reports.
Father Victor Roche blessed the building with a liturgy mass. He said No. 1 Super Limited has created an avenue for the people so that they can save for the future.
No. 1 Super has given this idea and vision for the people that you can save for the future.
NSL is the largest corporate trustee and kina investment that provides superannuation services through membership contributions and savings. Meanwhile, it has 160,000 members and asset worth 5.2 billion kina. Speaking during the event, NSL Board Chairman Anthony Smaro said it's easy to come into the new office and lose sight of what brings them there and what they need to do to bring this organization forward. It is important to take a couple of seconds to reflect on the journey that brings them there.
The evidence of that is in a very tough last 2 years we've actually made money. We've made a lot of money, despite the economy all around us having huge struggles.
He said for him it started in 2012 when he came on board. The organization was in a mess.
It's taken an amazing journey to get here, an amazing amount of contribution from the people, from everybody, from the board, from the management, and particularly from all of you.
He said for those present, they had to buy in a new way of doing things and put in a lot of expectations of this organization behind and be an asset. In addition, he said on a time like this is really a time where they can excel. Eric Arupma, National EMTV News.
Turning overseas now, and Islamic State has claimed responsibility for a suicide attack in the Afghan capital Kabul yesterday that killed at least 61 people and wounded more than 200. The blast tore through a demonstration by members of the mainly Shia Hazara minority.
Graphic television footage from the site of the attack showed many dead bodies lying on the bloodied road, close to where thousands of Hazara have been demonstrating over the route of a planned multi-million-dollar power line. A brief statement on the group's Amaq news agency said 2 fighters from Islamic State detonated explosive bells at a gathering of Shiite in the city of Kabul in Afghanistan. The attack was the worst in months, and if confirmed as the work of Islamic State, would represent a major escalation for a group which has been largely confined to the eastern province of Nongara. The explicit reference to the Hazara Shia religious affiliation also represents a menacing departure for Afghanistan, where the bloody rivalry between Sunni and Shia, typical of Iraq, has been relatively rare despite decades of war. The Taliban, a fierce enemy of Islamic State, has issued a statement denying any involvement. The attack succeeded despite tight security, which saw much of the city centre sealed off with stacks of shipping containers and other obstacles and helicopters patrolling overhead. It was the deadliest bombing seen in Kabul since April, when more than 60 people were killed in an attack on offices used by the security services. Vanessa Knight, EMTV World News.
More than 170 people have died and scores remain missing after heavy rains touched off floods and landslides in China this week. State-run media put the economic losses at more than $2 billion, and meteorologists warned that thunderstorms were expected in the coming days.
In northern China, where most of the deaths were concentrated, the worst hit area was Hebei province, which encircles the capital Beijing. At least 114 people have died and an additional 111 are still missing. Authorities put the number of affected people in Hebei alone at more than 9 million, with nearly 300,000 evacuated. Footage broadcast on CCTV shows rescuers helping people to safety. Large parts of China have been inundated with rain this summer. More than 1.5 million hectares of crops have been damaged, leading to direct economic losses of more than $2 billion. The central bank on Friday issued a statement saying it would provide financial support for flooded areas. China's National Meteorological Center said a storm is expected to hit northern China starting this afternoon until tomorrow afternoon. Vanessa Knight, EMTV World News.
You're with National EMTV News. Coming up in Trukai Sports, we have rugby union and hockey, plus more. Stay with us.
Trukai Sports.
Welcome to Trukai Sports. Capital Rugby Union teams, the Boromas and the Gai showed strength and pure class over the Daru Stingrays and Oro Fuzzies yesterday in the opening matches of the Export Rugby Championships. The Boromas thrashed Oro 26-0, while the Gai also managed to keep the Stingrays from scoring with a full-time score 30-3. Shane Saroya with the highlights.
Since kickoff, it was evident Port Moresby Boromas had the game under control. With the experience in Tisa Kautu, Desmond Kopok, Stanley Susuve and Willie Rickies, the Boromas showed more class and skill over the Oro Fuzzies, who have yet to further develop the code within their province. The Boromas maintained their performance, fending the Oro Fuzzies from scoring all throughout the match. The Boromas clocked in at halftime with 1 try and a successful conversion, while the Fuzzies remained scoreless. Second half, however, saw a number of penalties in favor of Oro. However, the lack of basic ball skills pushed the Boromas through to maintaining their set plays, paving way for a 26-0 scoreline at full time. In the day's other matches, Port Moresby Gai also secured a big victory over the Daru Stingrays, 30-3. Shane Saroya, National EMTV Sports.
2 hockey and 10 women's teams took part in today's round 6 matches in both the senior and junior divisions. The matches were used to identify potential players to undergo training for the upcoming PNG Games in West New Britain. Godwin Eki reports.
Today's hockey competition saw some great action on the hockey turf in Port Moresby as 10 women's team went on head-to-head while shattering each other's opponent on the turf. All 10 teams played confidently, showing some great passes and aiming for goal. The first game today saw Golden Eagles showing their class, thrashing MVP 5-0. The second game saw a close affair between Global and Seagulls, with Global winning 1 goal over the Seagulls. The third and fierce match between Rapatona in blue and United in red saw both teams defend their side strongly, showing great ball movements to and from its opponent, but Rapatona in blue were the first to secure a goal at halftime. At full-time, Rapatona proved to be the strongest and winning side after securing their second goal at full-time, leaving United Red vulnerable with 1 goal to Rapatona 2 goals. After today's matches, the final women's team was announced and the list will be given to NCDC Sports Desk for the final selection for the Kimber Games in West New Britain Province in November. Godwin Eki, National MTV Sports.
Badminton PNG plans to get more people in the country involved in the sport. They are soon to be affiliated to the Oceania Badminton Federation and also the Badminton World Federation.
Nets are set up and matches are played at the Rita Flynn courts on Tuesdays, Thursdays and Sundays at 6 p.m. Badminton PNG president says with the upgrading of venues and courts, this will help badminton in the country.
We have this temporary setup here, but this is actually the right infrastructure, right equipment. Everything is just with the recent developments with infrastructure, that's helped. That's going to help a lot with badminton to move to the next level. So we have the right people here as well. Yeah.
Different social players in Port Moresby play the sport of badminton at Murray Barracks and FAPNG. And Caro says the interest has increased over the past year.
We want to get registered properly so Badminton PNG can organize tournaments, it can organize sponsorship, we can have proper funding and proper support from a lot of potential sponsors out there waiting for us to be registered properly.
Caro encouraged many Papua New Guineans to take up the sport of badminton.
Because badminton is an Olympic sport, we're encouraging Papua New Guineans to play the sport, at least be interested. So this opportunity here with the Pinoy Social Badminton Club is to lure Papua New Guineans, young students especially.
There's approximately 120 players currently registered with Badminton PNG. They have plans to expand throughout the different provinces in PNG after they have affiliated. Elijah Lavette, National MTV Sports.
Trukai Sports ends there. We'll have for you the weather details for the next 24 hours when we return.
Trukai Sports. Trukai Sports.
Taking a look at the weather forecast for the next 24 hours in the southern region, Port Moresby, fine but periods of cloud, cloudy periods in Daru and Kerma, thundery showers expected in Alotau and Popondetta. To the Momasa region, rain and showers expected in Ley, a shower or two in Wau, thundery showers for Madang, Wewak and Vanimore. To the New Guinea Islands region, thundery showers in Lorengau, a shower or two in Kavieng, a chance of showers in Kokopo and Rabaul, a chance of showers as well in Kimbe, rain and showers in Buka. And in the Highlands region, Mount Hagen, Goroka, Kundiawa, Mendi and Wabeg, all these centres can expect rain and showers over the next 24 hours. And that has been the news, sports and weather for today, Sunday the 24th of July 2016. On behalf of the news team, have a pleasant working week. Good night.